evening.
And it's been a very memorable decade indeed for Frank Martin. You saw that Coach Martin taking South Carolina to their first ever Final Four back in 2017. For the Gamecocks, it's going to be number 21, Mike Kotsar, in the center circle for the opening tip-off against Mamadou Jawara, the 6'10 freshman, and it is controlled by Stetson in the black. The Hatters out of DeLand, Florida, in the ASUN Conference. Alex, they had started 5 freshmen in their last 2 ball games, but not today. They're going to go with Christian Jones, the Columbia native, getting the start. He played at Cardinal Newman High School, along with Frank Martin's son, Brandon Martin, who now plays at USC Upstate. Also, Kenny Aninye, the 6'1 junior, getting the start today. 3 freshmen, Rob Perry, Mamadou Jawara, and Joel Kabimba, the other starters.
And this is a very well-coached team. You're going to see them run their offense. They want to get downhill. They'll run a lot of pick and rolls. They'll want to get to the basket and look for them to look at Jawara in that post-up. They want to get him. He's a solid post-up player. They want to get him the ball and give him an opportunity to score.
Rob Perry misses on that opportunity, but it's kept alive by the Hatters. A little scoop shot there by Aninye out of Marietta, Georgia, and Wheeler High School. Very good program there, just outside of Atlanta. Averaging 5 points per game this season is Aninye, the junior.
And you see the Stetson Hatters, they open up with the full-court press. They go most zones the whole game, and the Gamecocks are just going to have to take their time. They're going to have to find the open spot, attack that middle, and be ready to shoot the ball when you get an open shot.
Bryant will have Bolden wide open, too strong on that attempt as he airballs it. The co-SEC Player of the Week, Jahlil Bolden, for his performance in Virginia. And there's the lay-in by Christian Jones.
And one of the keys for the Gamecocks is getting back in transition. This team, when they rebound, they've got an open look down the floor. They will pass. They will attack the paint. They're looking for rim runs.
Bolden to Kotsar, bottled up, right elbow. Gamecocks looking at 10 seconds on the shot clock. Underneath to Kotsar, in and out. And climbing up for the rebound is Mamadou Jawara, the 6'10 freshman from Mali, averaging nearly 14 points per game and 7 rebounds for head coach Donnie Jones in his first year leading the Hatters. He has a lot of experience as a head coach. There's a lay-in by Jawara. He is a very, very impressive freshman. Jawara is coming from Mali. He played prep ball at Massanutten Military Academy here in the States.
And you're going to see most of the Hatters' points come from Jawara. He knows how to get to that rim and finish. He's a big guy. He's 6'10", long arms. So look for them to go. Most of the points will come from he and Perry.
And Perry averages 15 to lead the Hatters. Jawara nearly 14 at 13.8 per contest. The Hatters on a 4-game losing streak right now. 1 of 4 in the month of December. Meanwhile, South Carolina 4-1 this month. On a 2-game winning streak. Wins on the road at Clemson and Virginia. This is the first time the Gamecocks have played a game here at the Colonial Life Arena since the loss to Houston back on December 8th. Here's Perry, wants a 3. He's going to miss right. Rebound kept alive, though, by the Hatters. Spinning in the lane, gets Kotsar off his feet, and that is a good bucket there. Nice move in the post there by the freshman Mamadou Jawara to get Kotsar up in the air.
And what's happening on this, the Gamecocks are in a zone. When you're playing zone, you got to be focused on blocking out, making sure that you make contact. That last time down, they weren't blocking out well, and Jawara ended up getting them put back.
A pair of airball threes here for Carolina early going as Keyshawn Bryant launching one that last trip down. Looks like Jahlil Bolden on the trip before.
You know, this is one of those Sunday afternoon game. It's a Monday afternoon game. It's kind of hard to get yourself going for those early afternoon games. Gamecocks, they're starting a little slow. Frank Martin making early substitutions, trying to find some activity.
TJ Moss comes on, as well as Kuznard, Jermaine Kuznard, and Trey Hannibal. And Trey Hannibal causes the turnover, and it's Hannibal laying it in off the dish from TJ Moss. And how about that right off the bat? The substitutions coming off the bench for Frank Martin. Does he know what he's doing or what?
Well,
As he brings in T.J. Moss and Trey Hannibal, they cause the turnover, and it's Moss to Hannibal for the lay-in the first bucket for Carolina.
And he has to get these guys going. Trey Hannibal comes in off the bench, very athletic, Moss pushes the ball up the floor, and Hannibal knows how to finish. Gets to the rim and finishes strong.
Trey Hannibal unable to make the free throw. Hannibal now 2 of 5 from the free throw line this season. A lot of Gamecock fans have speculated that Trey Hannibal could be a star linebacker or running back for the football team, but that was not his sport in high school.
No, it wasn't. He liked baseball. But he's certainly built to be a professional college football player. He's got that type of body.
Back-to-back turnovers now here for Stetson.
Very athletic.
Travel there. Trey Hannibal is an outstanding center fielder, big-time prospect out of Hartsville, South Carolina, playing baseball. I wonder if Mark Kingston is aware of that. I'm sure he is, head coach for South Carolina.
Now the Gamecocks, they know they're going to be full court press into a zone. They've got to take their time, take advantage of moving the ball, finding that guy in the post. No quick shots.
Stetson with the lead. Coatsar, baseline, turns the ball over.
And right now the Stetson defense is wreaking a little havoc with the Gamecock offense.
Hannibal, Minaya, Kuznard, Moss, and Coatsar, your 5 on the floor for Carolina. As you see, Donnie Jones in his first year leading the Stetson program. 10 years overall as a head coach, 3 at Marshall, and 7 successful seasons at Central Florida. Longtime assistant as well. Here's Hannibal with the flush. Trey Hannibal, 4 points for the freshman now.
Great job by Kuznard to get the hand in and steal that ball. Mike Coatsar doing a great job defensively. He's been solid all year on both ends of the floor. And Trey Hannibal, again, he knows how to finish.
South Carolina has cut that lead to 2. Another Stetson foul as Jawara with the push-off. And we've got a timeout on the floor here at the Colonial Life Arena in Columbia. It's the final time that the Gamecocks will play here this decade. It's Kuznard to Trey Hannibal. South Carolina trailing by 2. Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year from Columbia, South Carolina, in the Colonial Life Arena. The final game this decade for the Gamecocks as they trail the Stetson Hatters by 2. Birch Entley, Alex English with you, the NBA Hall of Famer. And Alex, Stetson got off to an early 6-0 lead. Frank Martin goes to his bench, brings in 3 new guys. And just like that, Kuznard and Trey Hannibal provide the spark that Frank Martin was looking for. Carolina down by a couple.
And, you know, you knew Stetson was going to come in ready to play this game. Gamecock came in a little slow. The first starters came in a little slow. Had to bring some guys off the bench to find some energy. Trey Hannibal, Cousinard, they brought that energy. Now the Gamecocks only down by 2.
Trey Hannibal with 4 points. Leading scorer for Carolina, obviously, as that's all the Gamecocks have mustered so far. 4 points for Mamadou Jawara, the freshman on the other end for Stetson.
And Gamecocks doing a good job of moving the ball. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be patient. If they're patient, they will get those types of shots. They've got to be able to finish.
Rob Perry will give it away to Kenny Ninye, the 6'1 junior guard out of Marietta. That's Rob Perry. Perry really can score the basketball. 29 points, 8 rebounds on December 17th in the loss to UNC Asheville.
And he's kind of a throwback. He shoots a set shot, doesn't get up on the jump shot, but he shoots a set shot, but pretty consistent with it. And we see him make that 3.
43% shooter from the three-point line is Rob Perry, the freshman from Oak Ridge High School in Orlando.
And this is going to be one of those games that the Gamecocks may have to grind it out because, you know, this team is very solid with what they do. They're very good in their zone defense. They work the ball well on offense. So Gamecocks have to be ready and may have to grind this one out today.
9-4 rather, 5-point lead here for Stetson. Stetson with 8 rebounds, out rebounding the Gamecocks now 8-1. On the season, Stetson has a plus 3.5 as far as rebounds go, compared to their opponents. South Carolina right there as well at plus 3.5. Foul on Joel Kabimba, 6'8 freshman from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And you find a lot of schools nowadays going to Africa, finding those young players, those long young players that are athletic, and bringing them to their programs.
Stetson has 3 on their roster. Kotsar strong to the hole and finishes. Mike Kotsar with his first points of the ball game. Kotsar, middle of the season, here in the first half of South Carolina's season, 2019, he had 5 games in double figures. Cousinard to Moss. Moss lays it in. And South Carolina trails by 1 now. It's 9-8.
And that was started by Mike Kotsar's tough defense, strong defensively, getting the steal, pushing the ball up the floor, doing a great job of Cousinard doing a great job of finding the open man, and Moss doing a good job finishing.
So Cousinard, Moss, Hannibal, the 3 that Frank Martin said, look, I'm going to you guys because I am not satisfied with what my starters are doing right now, especially I think he was really upset with A.J. Lawson, Jair Bolden, and Keyshawn Bryant. He subs in those 3 guys, and they have provided pretty much all of the scoring here for South Carolina, with the exception of that one play by Mike Kotsar.
And lots of times you see when guys start like that, a coach, I've got to shake them up a little bit because they're not giving me what I want. So he goes to his bench. He brings out guys that want to play, that want to impress. And here you see Mike Kotsar doing a great job of driving to the basket, finishing. But they're, he made the right substitution at the right time, and they picked up the play.
South Carolina, of course, coming off the holiday break. Returned to practice last night. Everybody came back together.
Well, actually, they've been back a couple of days.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
And I remember those days playing here and coming back off of the holidays and trying to get yourself going, getting back in shape. So you got those, what we call beat games when you first get back, just running up and down the floor trying to get your win, getting yourself ready to play.
Justin Minaya grabs a drink on the sidelines as Alonzo Frink comes in. Frink, over the holidays, went with the tight braids instead of having the hair picked out like we've seen.
Decided to change his look. Alonzo Frink, one of my favorites. I think he's going to, make a big plus for this team. He has a big body. He can block shots. He's got a nice little jump shot. He's just got to get comfortable with himself.
Syriac Fukar, number 20, onto the floor for Stetson, as well as Jalen Crutchfield, number 12, out of Norman, Oklahoma. Fukar, he's from Paris, France.
Very international team they've got there at Stetson.
And they've got 3 players from Africa, and then Fukar is from France. Ponzo is from Canada.
Great pass by Lonzo Frank, finding Kotzar rolling down the paint.
South Carolina with their first lead of this ball game. It's a 1-point Gamecock advantage, 10-9. 12:03 to play before halftime.
See a lot of pick and rolls with this Stetson team. Gamecocks, they really practiced on that yesterday in practice, knowing what was coming, knowing what they had to do.
Here's Bolden. He'll give off to Frink just inside the three-point line. Frink misses that set shot, and it is off and running here for Stetson. Christian Jones, the Columbia native from Cardinal Newman School, one time in Forest Acres, now has moved to a new campus.
Beautiful school.
Off Alpine Road.
Yes.
Northeast Columbia area. Jones played with Frank Martin's son at Cardinal Newman there. They had a very good program, and Jones showing his three-point shot right there. He's got 5 points in this game.
And when Jones was at Cardinal Newman, they were a very solid team. If I'm not mistaken, they won the championship for their district.
Yeah, they won a state championship in South Carolina Independent Schools Association. It is 12-10. Stetson back on top. They had a 6-0 lead to start this ball game. South Carolina back in it. New Year's Day at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, the SEC Nation Traveling pregame show with Laura, Marcus, Paul, Marty, and Tim will be in Orlando, Florida at Camping World Stadium for the VRBO Citrus Bowl between number 14 Michigan and number 12 Alabama to break down everything from the gridiron to the grill. SEC Nation presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. South Carolina trailing Stetson 12-10. The Gamecocks shaking things up a bit, going to their bench, and immediately it's Trey Hannibal making a difference.
Trey Hannibal, very athletic player. He goes to the rim very hard, runs the floor, knows how to finish. Gamecocks look to find him in transition.
Trey Hannibal with 4 points, had a chance to complete a three-point play, did the freshman from Hartsville, South Carolina, former Red Fox, but missed the shot from the charity stripe. Now it's Kuznard who is there. Kuznard at the free throw line, shooting 81%.
Yeah,
this is the Gamecocks' best free throw shooter as far as percentages go.
Well, I think we just jinxed him, Birch. But as a player would say, there's no such thing as a jinx.
No.
when you're a good foul shooter.
It looked like
Gamecocks have picked up the pressure now.
Looked like he was, at the bowling alley there, Alex, and just kind of. Sometimes, when you let it fly and it just sticks to your fingers and then bounces down the lane. That free throw attempt there on the backhand looked like 1 of 2 on that trip was Kusnard. Stetson with a 1-point lead. Aninye driving in, blocked away, swatted out of there. That's Keyshawn Bryant back on the floor along with A.J. Lawson.
Weak side help doing a good job of getting back to protect the paint.
A.J. Lawson straightaway 3. Oh, Keyshawn Bryant flying in from.
Keyshawn Bryant, he wants to play tonight. He's very active on both ends of the floor.
Foul on Weza Panzo, 6'7" freshman from Canada. Look at there, he came out of nowhere, Keyshawn Bryant.
And almost had that one.
Out of Winter Haven, Florida. Loves to play above the rim, and it is a big return for Keyshawn Bryant. Gamecocks were happy to get him back as he missed the first 8 games with an injury. He's only played 4 games this season, the last 4, and he's got two in double figures scoring.
He's still getting his basketball legs. Kusnard doing a good job. When the team plays a zone against you, there are going to be long rebounds. You got to make sure you get yourself in position to get those rebounds. Kusnard did that time.
Aninye picks up his second foul as Stetson will go to their bench, bringing back a couple of starters. Jawara back on, as well as Christian Jones.
Trying to protect Jawara, not getting in foul trouble. He's their biggest guy, the second leading scorer.
Second time in this ballgame now that South Carolina has led as they climb back on top, 13-12, 1-point lead. Stetson started this game on a 6-0 run. Jones will give it away to Jawara. Now back to Jones. Jones being guarded by Keyshawn Bryant. Wants a 3. He's hit one earlier. Misses that attempt. Crashing down hard. That's Jawara.
Yes, he'll feel that tomorrow. He won't feel it today, but he will feel it tomorrow.
Alonzo Frink picking up a foul. His first. Coach Sarr back on for Carolina. Really has shown his senior leadership.
Yes, he has. To me, he's been the most consistent all-around player on this Gamecock squad. He comes to play every game. He's played every game. Rebounds, plays good defense, and he's scored. We've seen where he's had double-figure scoring 5 straight games.
And as a freshman and a sophomore, the knock on Kotsar was foul trouble, especially early. But this season, he's done a very good job of staying out of foul trouble. Frink with a rebound defensively for Carolina. Chance to extend that lead now with 9:08 to play here in the half. A.J. Lawson running guard for the Gamecocks. Double-digit scoring his last 6 games. Wants a 3-pointer there. Misses that attempt. Carolina cold shooting from the 3-point line today.
And they're going to eventually have to make some of those outside shots. Fortunately, they're getting the break when the ball bounces. They're getting either a rebound or getting the ball back. This team, they play zone all the time, so you know they're very good at it. That's one thing you cannot have. You cannot have bad passes.
Rawley knocked it away and then finishes with a slam. Jahlil Rawley from Durham, North Carolina, the 6'4 senior, had 14 points against Florida International in that loss. 16-point loss to the Panthers. Out of bounds to Stetson, another Gamecock turnover.
And Gamecock's not able to get that long-distance shot to fall. They've got to find somebody who can, or they're going to have to attack inside. Rawley getting that finish at the rim. The Stetson team, they've come to play.
Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. It is Donnie Jones's young squad. 6 freshmen on the roster. 2 games this season. As a matter of fact, the last 2 games that they have played, they have started 5 freshmen. Pulling the string on it is Jawara, but he gets the rebound off his miss.
Yeah, he followed his shot. It's something a lot of players don't do nowadays is follow your shot. You miss it, the ball usually comes back to you. So that's why it's important to go after your shot if it misses.
Perry to Jones, just inside the three-point line. Big rebound, Rawley, as he skies for that board. We've got a timeout on the floor here in Columbia with Stetson giving the Gamecocks all they can handle right now here in the first half. The Gamecocks have only led by 1 in this ball game 2 times. Stetson back on top, 14-13 here in Columbia. The Stetson Hatters here in Columbia trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. First-year head coach Donnie Jones has his team with a 5-9 record right now. 4 total 20-win seasons when he was the head coach at UCF and Marshall, a longtime assistant at Florida, also Wichita State and Dayton. And as either an assistant or a head coach, 22 players Jones has sent to the NBA. 15 of those came from Florida.
Wow. And you look at it, you look at his coaching staff, he's got one of the great ex-NBA coaches, Brendan Sir, over there helping him out. So you can see why there's a lot of pick and roll in this game of theirs.
Played basketball collegiately at Pikeville in Kentucky. Stetson basketball with the 1-point lead. This is a ball game where we have seen 4 lead changes. Stetson controlled the opening tip-off and went on a 6-0 run before South Carolina was able to score when they put 3 subs in. Perry dials up the three-pointer. Rob Perry, he's got 6 points.
And even though he's got an old-school shot, you got to get up on him. You got to be closer to that than that. He can't shoot the ball. You got to be able to contest. Get your hand up.
6 points for Perry coming off the three-pointer. South Carolina, 1 of their last 8 from the floor. Let's see if Kuznar can change that. No, 1 of their last 9 now are the Gamecocks, and South Carolina coming up on nearly a 3-minute scoring drought.
Gamecocks having a difficult time making those outside shots. The starters are only 2 for 11 from the field right now.
Foul on Kuznar, his first. So that will put Christian Jones at the free throw line. Jones from Columbia, South Carolina, a good free throw shooter at 66%. getting the start today after a good performance coming off the bench in their last game for the Hatters. That was against FIU.
Jones is one of those good Columbia local players that teams are finding. Nice, solid player. Well coached.
Here's Keyshawn Bryant. Bryant, little floater. Frink popped it up, but it's into the hands of Jawara. Stetson basketball. Perry wants another three. Too strong. South Carolina struggling to get rebounds right now.
Yes, they are. They've got two of their better rebounders in there, Frank and Kotsar.
Second foul on Weza Panzo, 6'7" freshman from Canada, from Ontario. Talking about Christian Jones, former Cardinal Newman standout. He had some good matchups with a guy on the Gamecocks bench who will not be able to play until next season because of NCAA transfer rules, talking about Seventh Woods.
Yes, he did.
Played over at Hammond.
They had a few games against each other.
Kotsar's first shot from the free throw line is good, so it's a 5-point Stetson lead now with 6:40 to play here in the opening half. Kotsar sinks both. Lead is now 4. Jahlil Rawley being guarded by South Carolina freshman Trey Hannibal.
They continue to put South Carolina in the pick and roll, driving the paint, finding that open guy on the wing.
Rawley wide open three on the right side. Gamecocks quickly now, fast break. Bryant is good. Keyshawn Bryant gets a cheer from TJ Moss from the Gamecocks bench.
And you notice when the Gamecocks score a basket, they're going to get the ball out. They're going to push it up the floor. They're going to get a quick shot. They want to pick the pace up on offense.
That was the first Gamecock shot that was successful from the floor in quite a while. Kotsar had the free throws earlier, but the Gamecocks went nearly 3 minutes without getting a field goal. 10-4 run. Stetson. They have the lead 22-17. Gamecock basketball, Hannibal to Kotsar. Now back to Hannibal. They'll skip underneath to Frink, who is double teamed.
And that's the spot. You don't want to get it in the corner.
With 3 seconds on the shot clock, dunking it down is Keyshawn Bryant. Bryant, the 6'5" sophomore, has 4 points in this ball game now. And the crowd coming alive here at the Colonial Life Arena. The Gamecocks with 16 points in the paint. 16 of 19 points have come from the paint here for the Gamecocks.
Gamecocks, they know that they're going to try and get it to Jawara every opportunity they get. They've got to be prepared to either try and keep the ball from getting to him or double him in the post. It's Justin Minaya making a great pass to Keyshawn Bryant going to the rim. Finishing. He knows how to finish.
Jawara's first free throw is good.
And you look at Jawara play, Birch, he's got a lot of confidence in his game. He wants the ball. Every time down, he's calling for it. Gamecocks have to figure out a way to neutralize him.
23-19. Jawara's second shot makes it 24-19.
And then back with that full court 2-2-1.
The triumvirate of Jair Bolden, A.J. Lawson, Justin Minaya for Carolina. 3 of the 5 starters. 0 points, 0 for 4 shooting from the floor. Here's Perry. Perry from the left side with the right hand. Extends that lead, now largest of the game for the Hatters, 26-19, Stetson. Bryant's pass intercepted by Rob Perry. It's a Gamecock turnover. South Carolina has committed 5.
And they're having a difficult time entering that ball into the post. And sometimes you have to fake a pass and go low or go high. You know, they're just trying to throw it in there, and it's not working. This team's got long players, long athletic players.
Keyshawn Bryant going for the ball, but gets the arm.
Stetson doing a great job of making the Gamecocks move.
Pair of personal fouls now for Keyshawn. Keyshawn Bryant, who missed the first 8 games for South Carolina this season. This is his 5th after missing those 8 due to an injury. Had 10 points against Virginia on the road. And then in his first game of the season, that was on the road as well at UMass, 13 points.
He played well. He was very instrumental in the wins in those 2 games. The Gamecocks, they had a great game against Virginia. They're home now. They've got to come. They've got to give the fans some excitement here. They've got to win. They're good enough to win. And
Bolden, 3-point try from the right side. Kotsar tips it up.
And we got to get Jair Bolden going. He was big in that win against Virginia, made some great shots, and we got to get him going right now. He's struggling.
Frank Martin, Gamecocks head coach. To his right, left of your screen, Chuck Martin, his trusted assistant. As they watch Kotsar pick up his 2nd foul. Donnie Jones looking sharp today.
And you got to give that Stetson team some credit. They are playing their hearts out. They don't care who they're playing. They come to play both ends of the floor.
Lawson is there for Carolina off the Jones miss from the free throw line. Carolina trailing 28-19. A.J. Lawson, his first points of the ball game for the star guard for Carolina, preseason All-SEC player.
They've got to figure out the intricacies of this zone defense that Stetson's playing and find the open looks, and then they've got to make the shots. You know they're going to pick and roll on the offensive end. Got to be ready to guard that as well.
Kabimba, too strong off the board, and Minaya tried to keep it alive for the Gamecocks, but it dribbled off of his hands, out of bounds. It'll be Stetson basketball when we come back. The Hatters lead by 7. Thursday is the start of women's basketball conference play in the SEC, and we'll have complete coverage of every game that night as we whip around the conference, going to each game for the best action. You can also watch each game on the ESPN app, all starting at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network, so you can catch the end of our first matchup. Kentucky at South Carolina, tipping off at 7:06 from here in Columbia. Then it's Georgia at Ole Miss, 7:45. Florida at Mississippi State, tip-off 8:10 Eastern Time. And then Auburn at Vanderbilt, tips at 8:30. Alabama at LSU, tip-off time there 8:40. And Texas A&M at Arkansas, tips at 9:05 Eastern. SEC women's basketball whip-around coverage. And the Stetson Hatters have been whipping it around the Gamecocks here today as they have the lead here in the first half. Their offense shooting 39% from the floor. As you see Christian Jones getting a bucket there. And then on the fast break, it is Rawley. The Gamecocks committing the turnover and the points on the other end for Stetson. Another South Carolina turnover committed there. And that leads Stetson to the bucket with Rob Perry. And Perry, the freshman, with 8 points. Christian Jones, the Columbia native, with 9 to lead all scorers in this game. And South Carolina right now, the guard play on defense, I think, Alex, obviously has to get better, but South Carolina also, they're going to have to find their stroke at some point in this ball game from the three-point line. They are 0 for 7 right now.
Yes, they are. And they look for Jahlil Bolden. He had such a great game against Virginia. He's a guy that's a very good outside shooter. Kusnard, he's also a good shooter from the outside. They've got to crack that zone. If they don't crack that zone, they're going to continue to let them take those outside shots. And that's the other thing. They're turning the ball over too easily. They're not making solid passes. Right now, the Stetson team has got 7 points off of turnovers. You take those 7 points away, it'll be a tie game.
Donnie Jones calls timeout for Stetson. Hatters with a 7-point lead. We've had the lead change 4 times in this contest. It started off as Stetson getting out to a 6-0 lead before Carolina scored. South Carolina with 21 points in this ballgame. 18, Alex, have come from the paint. The other 3 points from the free throw line.
Yeah, they're not making any outside shots, and they've got to get somebody hitting some outside shots. They've got to get a lot more energy on defense. They've got to take care of the ball. I mean, Lawson's made some easy turnovers. Bryant's made some easy turnovers. Those are the things that you can't do against a team like this who's going to push the ball up the floor every opportunity they get.
There's the numbers on Jahlil Bolden in that South Carolina win over the number 9 ranked Virginia Cavaliers, the defending national champs. The game in Charlottesville, 22 points for Bolden.
And today he has 0.
He was 8 of 13 from the floor in Charlottesville, including 4 of 6 from behind the three-point line. Good enough to be named co-SEC Player of the Week for the week of December 23rd. Stetson basketball with the lead by 7. Shot clock closing in on 10. Minaya, tough defense there on Kabimba. But that will leave Jawara open, and Jawara lays it in as the shot clock was dwindling down. Jawara, the freshman from Mali, with 8 points.
And Stetson doing a good job that time, not cracking under the pressure, finding the open look and getting to the basket to score.
Kusnard, the floater is good. South Carolina answers. South Carolina can't trade bucket for bucket right now with Stetson. You're going to have to get on a run with 2:23 remaining here in the half.
And Gamecocks are known for their tough defense. They've got to toughen that defense up right now.
7-point Hatters lead. The month of December has not been very kind to this young squad from DeLand, Florida, in the ASUN. 1 win, 4 losses. South Carolina, meanwhile, 4-1 during the month of December. 3 big road wins. Gamecock basketball as Frank is there.
Good job by Frank holding his ground.
Oh, nice pass, Trey Hannibal. Beautiful. Trey Hannibal just kicked it in from 4th to 5th gear. Little stutter step and then whipped it. A no-look pass to Justin Minaya, who lays it in, and Minaya has his first points of the ball game. It's a 5-point Stetson lead, 30-25.
And Trey Hannibal has been the bright spot for the Gamecocks this half.
Jahlil Bolden's going to commit the foul, and that will send Joel Kabimba, 6'8 freshman, one of the 3 players from
and Hannibal
Africa.
knows how to get to the rim, makes that pass to the open Minaya under the bench.
Kabimba from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Jawara from Mali, and then Ricky Guidi, a 6'10 freshman. We have not seen him on the floor yet. He is from the Ivory Coast. Minaya, a nice no-look pass of his own there to Kusnard. Unable to get that footer. Big rebound there, Alonzo Frink. And Frink, strong, unable to get the kiss off the square, but he will go to the line. That was a strong play by Alonzo Frink.
It was a strong rebound. He wanted that rebound. He goes up strong. He gets it, and he goes back, puts the ball back up, draws the foul. They need that kind of energy. Frank, you see Frank here, he just battles for that rebound, and he uses that big body. jumps into the defense, goes up strong, draws the foul.
Alonzo Frink misses the free throw there. Frink, 52% from the free throw line this season. Checking back on is Cyriac Foucault, the 6'9 sophomore from France. Averages 1.1 rebound a game.
You look at this game, got lineup out there now, and Trey Hannibal, Kusnard, they're the ones that are bringing the energy. Justin Minaya defensively, Frank in the middle.
1 for 2 at the line is Frank, and the lead now for Stetson, 32-26, as we come close to a minute to play before halftime. Jawara kicks it out. Good defense there by Alonzo Frank. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. South Carolina, Trey Hannibal with the interception. Hannibal, right to left dribble, skips it down low to Kusnard, unable to finish. Rebound, Rawley.
Great job by the Gamecocks to rebound and get it up the court. Just weren't able to finish. But the energy, the pace is picked up. Gamecocks defense is looking like Gamecock defense now.
Rawley backs away, being guarded by South Carolina freshman Trey Hannibal, who has been the spark plug for Frank Martin coming off the bench in this game. Minaya with the defensive rebound for the Gamecocks. 30 seconds to play before halftime. Hannibal throws the interception, though. Picked off by Rawley. South Carolina has committed turnover number 7 now. Rawley has forced several of those. 12 seconds remaining. Stetson, the 6-point lead. Started out the game leading by 6. Nice ball handling ability there by Christian Jones as he works it into the lane, draws contact. Kusnard had his hands up. Gamecock fans wanted to travel on Christian Jones. Instead, it's the second personal foul on Jermaine Kusnard.
Christian Jones doing a good job of taking his time, getting to the rim, drawing the foul. Good free throw shooter.
This is that attempt. Checking on is Jalen Crutchfield, a sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma. Leading scorer in this ball game is Christian Jones. 9 points, 3 rebounds, make it 10 now. Double digits for Christian Jones. This is back-to-back games now that Christian has had double figures for Stetson. There's the buzzer, and the Stetson Hatters trying to snap a 4-game losing streak as they come into Columbia with a chip on their shoulder right now. They have the lead as we go to halftime.
Economy.
Indeed. And a big part of the backbone of our nation, and we certainly appreciate each and every one of them. 7-point lead as we begin the second half here for Stetson in South Carolina basketball. Gamecocks working to the goal to the left of your screen in the white with the garnet trim. Jair Bolden dialing up a 3-point try, and he is 0 for 3 now from behind the arc. Gamecocks now 0 for 8 as a team shooting from behind the 3-point line.
They're having their troubles at that 3-point line.
Jair Bolden has yet to score in this ball game after dumping in 22 on the road last time out against Virginia, the number 9 ranked Cavaliers. Big rebound there for Mike Kotsar. He will dish ahead to A.J. Lawson. Lawson, you said it, Alex, is passing right now just a little lackadaisical. Seems like he's still somewhat on break.
yeah, he's got to do a better job of faking the pass and then making the pass.
Keyshawn Bryant finds Kotsar inside now. Kotsar will whip it out. A.J. Lawson dumps in the 3. South Carolina ends that drought behind the arc.
Hopefully that's going to get them going, get Lawson going. They need him right now.
One shot, and it's now a 4-point lead for Stetson. Rawley picks up the screen. Now Perry. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Backing in is Kabimba on Minaya. Kabimba used a hand, a little whip, little hook there.
You can't do that.
He's got 3 personal fouls now. Kabimba, the freshman. Good pass there, Bryant to Kotsar.
Yeah. Keyshawn Bryant doing a great job of finding Mike Kotsar. Kotsar, seeing that he didn't have the open look to the rim, finds Lawson on the weak side.
And he did so quickly, made that quick decision to kick it out, knew that he had A.J. Lawson open as he had spotted him out of the corner of his eye. Gamecocks trying to erase this deficit now. They've led a few times in this ballgame, but only by one. Bolden still scoreless.
We talked about this being one of those grinded out games. It's taking shape to be that right now.
Stetson throws it away. Another turnover. They've committed 2 here to begin this half.
The Gamecocks almost got caught with the backs turned in transition. That should have been a score for the Stetson team.
4-point lead for the Hatters. It's Gamecock basketball with T.J. Moss running point. Moss throws it away over the outstretched hands of Justin Minaya. Gamecocks turn the ball over. 8 turnovers now for Carolina.
And they're just not doing a good job of making passes, guys getting themselves open for the pass.
Look, Frank Martin just had there with his head in his hands. Looks like something you might see on January 2nd. Or January 1st, rather, I should say, after a big New Year's Eve celebration.
Mike Kotsar being the player that he is, he gets on those knees, he goes after that ball, not afraid to go after it. Unfortunately, that time it's Stetson's ball. Red arrow to Stetson. The Gamecocks are playing pretty solid defense, but they're just not able to make shots and do what they're supposed to do offensively.
Jones behind the back, penetrates in the lane, and he'll go to the free throw line. Stetson on a 3-minute scoring drought right now here in the second half. He's getting to score, but a chance here as Kotsar picks up his 3rd personal foul. That will get Alonzo Frink up off the Gamecock bench. He will join A.J. Lawson over there at the scorer's table, ready to check in.
Frank doesn't look too happy over there right now.
Jones with 11 points now. Christian Jones from Cardinal Newman School in Columbia. Junior had 14 points off the bench against Florida International.
I know his coach Dieter from over there. Very proud of this young man. He's having a pretty solid game.
Looks like Jones is going to be whistled for the foul there, his first.
A.J. Moss is going to be coming out. A little careless with the ball.
Moss on the bench. Hannibal back on for Carolina. Trey Hannibal was the spark that South Carolina was looking for in the first half to keep the Gamecocks within reach in that first half. Shot clock at 5 now. Kusnard with the shot clock at 2. That will be a foul on Jawara. Mamadou Jawara, the very talented 6'10 freshman, picks up his 2nd foul. He had 15 points and 15 rebounds. His first double-double. Actually, that was his 2nd double-double of the season. That came against Florida International. He had 22 points and 10 rebounds in the win against Bethune-Cookman to start the month of December. As Kusnard misses the free throw.
And Jawara is very comfortable with his game. He's a hard worker on both ends of the floor.
Gets the rebound there. Kusnard 0 for 2. South Carolina 4 of 10 from the free throw line. Six-point lead for Stetson with the basketball. Perry underneath to Christian Jones. And Perry is...
Kusnard doing a good job of coming over, taking that charge, knowing what they're going to do. Knowing that they're going to drive to the rim. He gets there, he gets his body set, and he draws the foul.
There's Jair Bolden, the transfer from George Washington. A.J. Lawson has a seat. Bolden has yet to score. 0 for 3 from the three-point line.
And they're making an account for Bolden. Whenever he gets the ball, they're making sure that they get near him, that they can get to him and contest his shot, because they know he can shoot the ball.
Hannibal's pass to Frink. Too hot on that try. 35-29. Stetson leading by 6. Our first time out here in the second half. 15:55 to play. Saturday, we've got another men's hoops doubleheader for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. And it's the start of conference play in the SEC. Number 19, Kentucky hosts Missouri at Rupp Arena in our first game. That's at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Then we'll take you to Starkville for number 8, Auburn and Mississippi State. Here in Columbia, South Carolina trails the Hatters of Stetson out of the A-Sun. Just one win on the road for Donnie Jones in his first year as the head coach at Stetson.
Looking at the way they're playing today, you would think that they would have won more.
1-5 on the road are the Hatters this season, and in the month of December, 1 win, 4 losses, riding a 4-game losing streak into the capital city. But they are really using the Capital City native Christian Jones today here in Columbia, as he has had a very happy holiday return. Leading scorer for Stetson, leading scorer in this ballgame. Anaya picks it up off the deck for Carolina. Hannibal Kushner thought about the three, drives in and is short on that attempt.
They just can't get the ball to fall through the net. Lonzo Frank doing whatever he can on Jawara. Jawara is a solid big man. He knows how to get post up, how to keep his man behind him on the post up.
Second personal foul on Alonzo Frink. Did not get the start today as Keyshawn Bryant back in that starting role for Carolina after returning from injury after missing the first 8 games of the season. You fouled the shooter from behind the three-point line, and this looks like South Carolina's first game of the season. And you would think that maybe South Carolina is the team with the 5 freshmen on the floor right now.
That's one thing you don't do. You don't foul a guy at the three-point line,
especially a shooter like Christian Jones.
I'm sure his family is enjoying seeing him play as well as he's playing here in this arena today, being that this is his hometown.
Christian Jones, 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 14 points for Jones. Hits all 3.
$15 points now for Christian Jones.
Ties the largest lead of the game for Stetson at 9. Led by 7 at halftime. And then South Carolina trimmed that to 4. Shot clock under 10. Lawson goes right to left. South Carolina commits another turnover. It's Rawley. Draws contact. TJ Moss as Rawley goes down hard, and that's going to be an intentional whistled on TJ Moss. And I've got to agree with Patrick Evans there.
Yeah, Lawson makes the bad pass, turns it over.
That's 4 turnovers now that Lawson has committed.
And that was an intentional
Yes.
foul. In football, he would probably be thrown out of the
Yeah,
game.
but he really could have injured Rawley there.
Yes.
And Rawley, fortunately, was able to keep that head up. 38-29, Stetson in the lead by 9.
And Birch, one of the things that the Carolina fans probably concerned with now is that you get this game continues to move along and they keep building on that score.
Yeah, Rawley really could have been injured.
Yes, he could.
TJ was not trying to, hurt Rawley. He held on to him. That's, a flagrant foul. And
Yes.
that's going to put Rawley at the line. And South Carolina here in the second half, turnovers. They've committed a few, but also, Alex English, you foul a shooter from behind the three-point line. That's a big no-no, and then you commit
They've made
flagrant foul here.
bad mistakes. They've, stuff that you normally don't do in basketball, like fouling a guy at the three-point line. Flagrant foul.
Easy.
And that was saying
there
earlier,
by Perry, and this is the largest lead of the game here for Stetson.
like I was saying earlier, Bert, as this game progresses and this team keeps this lead and they keep building on this lead, the Gamecocks are going to get concerned and get a little nervous.
South Carolina has hit only 1 3-point shot today. As Moss misses that try, Bolden has yet to hit a three-pointer. Boulder has yet to score in this ball game. Gamecocks almost turned the ball over again. And Mike Kotsar not on the floor. He's been the Gamecocks' most productive player, I would say, in this ball game. The points don't show it, but Kotsar, there's Mike, the senior, on the bench with 3 personal fouls.
Right, they need him out there right now. He did give them a lot of energy. Not that Frank isn't giving him the energy, but Kotsar is a scorer on the offensive end as well.
Foul committed by Wesa Panzo, the 6'7" freshman. Puts Frink on the line. Keyshawn Bryant back on the floor. Got to wonder why Wildens Levesque has not been inserted into this game yet.
Oh, well,
he and Jalen McCreary.
they're both energy guys. They do a good job inside. That's a
6'7" is McCreary, 6'11" is Levesque. South Carolina, the majority of their points has come from inside. Good move there again by that freshman Mamadou Jawara.
Jawara's having his way inside with the bigs right now.
That's why you would say, hey, Levesque needs to get on the floor, and
here
that's where he's coming, yeah.
He's the shot blocker. He does a pretty good job of making guys change their shot.
Kotsar and Frink now with 3 personal fouls. As Kotsar committed his 3rd earlier in the half. Now Frink committing his 3rd. I mean, this is a freshman that looks unlike a freshman in the post that we have seen here at Columbia this year.
Yes, he does. He's very strong, knows what he wants to do in the post. He calls for the ball. He knows how to get the position in the post, and they get it to him.
South Carolina has yet to hit a shot from the floor in 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes. They trailed by 13 points here to Stetson, who's coming into this arena, the Colonial Life Arena, with only one win in the month of December, and they've lost their last 4 games. Minaya, not there. Rebound, Levesque. Steps on the baseline and out of bounds.
And you look at this team on the floor now, you want to know, where do you get your points from? Trey Hannibal's been pretty solid going to the rim. I think they need some outside shooting right now.
And they've got to get some stops, and they have to get better rebounding the basketball. And of course, as you said, Alex, it's a no-brainer. You cannot commit these turnovers with a team that has a chip on their shoulder like Stetson. Stetson really wants to get this win on the road against a team that's coming off of 2 big wins of their own on the road. Here's Hannibal. Trey Hannibal loses control, but he was fouled in the process. I believe that was number 10 getting a hand in, Aninye.
And Trey Hannibal, he knows how to attack the rim. He gets that ball, he's going to go. Going to attack the rim, and he will find the open guy.
Third foul by Aninye. So he's got 3. Penzo with 3. Aninye, one of the starters. Penzo coming off the bench. Moss top of the key, now to Hannibal. 13-point Stetson lead. Largest of this ball game.
This zone defense has been very troubling for the Gamecocks.
Deep 3-point try. Moss buries it. TJ Moss. Maybe that's what Carolina needed.
Finally, he makes a shot.
Gamecocks have only hit 2 long balls here today, and TJ Moss with 5 points now.
Crowd trying to get him in, trying to get going, get him into this game.
10-point Stetson lead. Shot clock coming up on 10. Now underneath 10. Rebound, Wildens Levesque.
You made that call, Bert. Levesque, where's Levesque?
Bryant. 1-on-2. Now Minaya quickly to TJ Moss, and it's tapped out of there by Christian Jones, out of bounds to the Gamecocks. Timeout on the floor. 12 minutes left to play. Gamecocks trying to fight back into this ball game and get rid of maybe a little Christmas hangover. Right now it's Donnie Jones and the Stetson Hatters leading by 10. New Year's Day at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, the SEC Nation Traveling pregame show with Laura, Marcus, Paul, Marty, and Tim will be in Orlando at Camping World Stadium for the VRBO Citrus Bowl between number 14 Michigan and number 12 Alabama. They'll break down everything from the gridiron to the grill. SEC Nation is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. The South Carolina Gamecocks trailing by 10 to Stetson here at home in the Colonial Life Arena. The Gamecocks getting a big, deep three-pointer there by TJ Moss to cut that lead from 13 to 10, and maybe that's just what South Carolina needs. And if they want to get out of Colonial Life Arena for the last time this decade with a win, avoid the upset, and head into SEC play beginning on January 7th. They'll have Florida coming to town. Wildens Levesque fighting hard, count the basket for Wildens Levesque, put him on the line.
Yes, yes. Great call, Birch. He's in there and he's playing hard. He's rebounding. He's going up strong. He is a shot blocker. He's an inside presence on the defense.
That's the third foul on Mamadou Jawara, and that really could be costly here for Donnie Jones and the Stetson Hatters.
And that might be the most important part of what happened.
Exactly. And Levesque
has got that look on his face.
5 rebounds.
The crowd, they're calling for him. They want to see him continue this play.
It's getting loud here at Colonial Life Arena. Shot clock coming up on 10. Christian Jones leading all the scorers with 15. The Columbia native drives in, puts a little hanger up there. Perry cleans it up. Now Jawara almost has his pocket pick. Air ball into the hands of Minaya.
Gamecocks doing a good job tracking the ball that time, making sure that they didn't get that second shot.
Bryant, left to right, loses the handle. Hannibal is there to keep it alive, and Hannibal is fouled, and that might be number 4 on Jawara.
And that's the kind of aggressive play they need offensively.
It is number 4 on Mamadou Jawara. That's going to put him on the bench here soon with 10:57 left in this ball game. That's huge.
They're going to put him on the bench right now. That's big for Stetson. Losing him, he's been their most solid guy inside.
Yeah, Kabimba will come back on, number 35, and he has 3 as well. The other big. So going to the bench, Jawara. (43-36) Stetson lead with the basketball. 10:42 to play in this game. Perry dishes off right side. Now it's Panzo back to Rawley. Under 10. Shot clock at 5. Gamecock perimeter D. Now Christian Jones sinks a 3.
One guy you don't want to be open.
Can't leave him open. 18 points for Christian Jones.
He's having a solid game this evening.
What a homecoming.
Had a wide open look that time.
Minaya takes the pass from Hannibal. Minaya unable to get that to drop, but he is fouled in the process.
Strong drive to the basket by Justin Minaya.
Now Kabimba has 4 fouls. So the 2 bigs, Jawara and Joel Kabimba, the 2 freshman big guys for Donnie Jones' Stetson squad, they've got 4 fouls each, Alex, and we've got 10 minutes to play in this ball game.
Yes, and then I guess Fuqua is the next guy up.
Yeah, Fuqua 6'9", Syriac. Fuqua from France only averages 1 point and 1 rebound a game.
But this is one of those nights, one of those days that the whole team seems to be playing well. He may score 4 or 5 more points.
South Carolina now 7 of 16 from the free throw line. As Coach Sarr will come back on, let's see if South Carolina can take advantage. This is almost like a power play in hockey with your bigs out of it. If you're Stetson, your 2 big guys on the bench with 4 fouls each. Rawley drives in. Foul committed, Trey Hannibal. Gamecock fans disagree.
Yeah,
Hannibal's second.
Got caught reaching. Rawley does a good job of pushing the ball downhill.
That's no touch. That's all ball.
That's all ball. Well, it looks like he went across his arm there.
So Rawley at the line. Jahlil Rawley, the 6'4 senior. He is the only, besides Ricky Guidi, the only other upperclassman, or senior rather, that Jones has. He and Guidi, the 2 seniors. Guidi has yet to hit the floor. Hannibal's pass too soft as he was looking for Levesque on the fast break. Taken away by Stetson. Kotsar trying to keep it alive, and Kotsar is going to be fouled from behind. Syriac Fukar with a reach in.
That's why they need Kotsar on the floor. He's the guy that will get on the floor. He'll go find loose balls. He dives for loose balls. He goes after every rebound. He's the guy that brings energy when he's out there.
Carolina just really struggling from the free throw line. And shooting the basketball today, South Carolina has been soft on just about every shot.
Yes, they have. They just don't seem comfortable.
7 of 17. Gamecocks are now 8 of 18 from the free throw line. As Kotsar's 1 of 2 there, the senior. 47-38, Stetson lead, under 10 minutes to play. Stetson with Mamadou Jawara and Joel Kabimba, the two bigs, on the bench with 4 fouls each. Spinning in the lane, losing control is Perry, turns the ball over. Gamecocks have possession. 12 turnovers committed by Stetson now.
Opportunity now for the Gamecocks to cut into this lead. They got to take care of the ball, though.
Big story in this ballgame, Jair Bolden scoreless for Carolina. And another big story, Gamecock turnovers. The passing has just been not where you want it to be this late in the season. You're playing your last game of 2019. This is game number 13 of the season.
It just seems like, Birch, that they're not focused on what they're doing. They're not making solid passes. They're too lackadaisical making passes. And this team, this Stetson team, they're ready for all that.
Regardless if Carolina can get back into this, there's still plenty of time left in this game. But Frank Martin is going to be unhappy no matter the outcome.
And there's Wildens Levesque again, changing that shot, getting the rebound, getting the loose ball.
Inside, Kotsar ducks it down, takes advantage of Fukar there, and a nice pass from Minaya. Good awareness by Minaya. 7-point Stetson lead now. Carolina bench is urging on the 5 on the floor, as well as the Gamecock fans here in attendance. Donnie Jones having a word with Fukar, saying, hey, you can't get burnt like that.
And a lot of that energy is coming from Levesque. He's doing a great job on the offensive end, on the defensive end.
And then
Mike Kotsar. He's the guy that makes, he's the engine. He makes this team go because he's the guy that will dive on the floor for loose balls. He's going to go after rebounds, and he does a great job of scoring inside.
Salute to our military representing Fort Jackson, Columbia, South Carolina in attendance here today. Stetson with a 7-point lead here with 8:33 remaining from the Colonial Life Arena, and Stetson had a 13-point lead, Alex English, before Wildens Levesque entered this ball game. And where there's a Wildens, there's a way. 5 minutes, 3 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal. He's contested some big shots, and he's brought high-level energy, just what Carolina has needed. They got this lead down to single digits.
Yes, he has, and he's done a great job of changing shots, rebounding.
Perry for 3, yes. Stetson answers there with a huge three-pointer. 13 points now for the freshman Rob Perry out of Orlando, Florida. Last 2 games, he has scored 48 points coming into this game. 29 against Asheville, 19 against VMI, where that was 2 out of his last 3. Lawson wants a 3. Not there, and Perry is there for Stetson to pick it up. 10-point lead for the Hatters with 7:36 to play in this ballgame. Levesque, Minaya, Lawson, Kotsar, and Moss, your 5 on the floor for Carolina in the white and garnet.
And Carolina's still trying to find some consistency from the outside. It's been eluding them today.
Shot clock is at 5 now. Rawley drives in. Moss comes over again, and Rawley hits the deck again hard. Second time today that Moss has put Rawley down. The first time was a flagrant. This time he just
got there to block the shot.
Yeah, tried to come in to block that opportunity, and instead it's another foul committed. You can't leave that lane open for Rawley to drive like that. We've got timeout on the floor, and Frank Martin a little livid right now as his team trails by 10. Thursday is the start of women's basketball conference play, and we'll have complete coverage of every game that night as we whip around the conference, going to each game for the best action. You can also watch each game on the ESPN app, all starting at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network, so you can catch the end of our first matchup, which is Kentucky at South Carolina, tipping at 7:06. Then Georgia at Ole Miss tips at 7:45. Florida at Mississippi State, that's an 8:10 tip-off. Auburn at Vanderbilt tipping at 8:30. Then Alabama at LSU 8:40, and Texas A&M at Arkansas tip-off 9:05. The Stetson Hatters behind a very timely three-pointer, a deep one too from Perry. Back on top by double digits, 10-point lead. It was a 7-point advantage before that three-pointer, and now it is Rawley at the line trying to keep that lead extended, and it's now 11.
The story continues to be turnovers for the Gamecocks. Birch. Stetson has 16 points off of turnovers. You take that away, and
it's a 2-point ball game.
That's right.
11-point lead, Carolina basketball. Inside, Kotsar gets it to drop on the assist from Kushnard, and Kotsar is the first Gamecock in double digits now. He has 11 points.
And they should look to take advantage of that. Their bigs inside every opportunity down.
Christian Jones leads all scorers, 18 for Jones, the junior from Columbia who plays for Stetson. Rob Perry, the freshman, he has 13 points. 6:38 left to play. Shot clock now at 3. Good defense there by Kotsar. Desperation shot at the buzzer as the shot clock was at 0, and the Gamecocks commit a foul.
And they call that foul, blocking out foul on Alonzo Frink. I have to see that one again.
4 fouls now on Frink.
Well, you know, big guys are supposed to block out on the shot. Well, he does slide under him a little bit, but questionable call to me.
51-42 is the lead for Stetson. Hannibal, Trey Hannibal for Carolina, the freshman who provided the spark coming off the bench after Stetson went on a 6-0 run, and he gets the spark there. Trey Hannibal from Hartsville, South Carolina, drives in and he fouls Joel Kabimba out of this ball game. Gets the bucket and he'll go to the line.
And Trey Hannibal does a great job of just pushing it to the basket, forcing the ball up, using that big body to block guys off of the shot, and he ends up scoring. He's got a lot of energy, and the Gamecock would love to see the rest of the guys have that type of energy that he and Mike Kotsar has.
So the freshman fouls out Joel Kabimba, and that brings Jawara back on the floor with 4 fouls of his own. Gamecocks will substitute Levesque for Frink. Only 2 points today for Kabimba, but he's one of only 2 bigs that have experience this season, and they're only freshmen. Missing a shot is Hannibal, and Ponzo is there for Stetson. A 7-point lead for the Hatters with 6:05 to play.
And Frank Martin brings Joseph Levesque back in to guard Jawara. He's had done the best job on him so far.
Kusnard with a foul. So we got the reach in and the dribble by Kenny Aninye. 4 personal fouls now for Kusnard. Kusnard and Bolden, who have been pretty solid this season for Carolina. I mean, Bolden, he's your co-SEC player of the week after putting in 22 points against Virginia. Today, those 2 guys have not had their best performance as a tandem. Only 5 points between them, and those 5 belong to Kusnard. Bolden is yet to score, and he is on the bench right now. Hannibal drives in, kicks it out, and is going to travel.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. They're going to wave it off and say he was fouled before. Foul by Weza Panzo, and that's his 4th. So Panzo and Jawara both with 4 fouls each here for Stetson. And Donnie Jones looking on.
Trey Hannibal does a great job of attacking that rim every opportunity he gets.
Hannibal with 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Now make it 7 points. Leads at 6, 2-possession game. And Hannibal now has his season high in scoring, 7 points for Trey Hannibal. Gamecock fans getting loud. Thrown away. Stetson commits the turnover. It's Gamecock basketball with 5:45 to play. Down by 5.
And those 3 energy guys out front, they forced that. Kusnard, Manaya, Trey Hannibal, very active out front.
Frink back on. Levesque will have a seat. closest this game, or South Carolina, has been since the first half. Now, Manaya gets a three. 49 points for Carolina, 51 for Stetson. So the Gamecocks down by possession.
Within two now. Defensive pressure.
They'll knock it out of the hands of Aninye. Hannibal will, but out of bounds to Stetson with 17 seconds on the shot clock.
And Trey Hannibal doing a great job defensively, putting pressure on him. Justin Manaya finds the open look, shoots the ball with confidence. Now the Gamecocks only down by 2.
Shot clock under 10. I thought Hannibal may have slid over in time and got set there, but the officials say no. That's foul number 3 for Trey Hannibal.
I think he was within that circle.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this ball game. 3 fouls now for Trey Hannibal. South Carolina, Kotsar with 3, TJ Moss with 4, Alonzo Frink with 4. Kotsar and Frink are on the floor. Kusnard with 4 as well, and he remains in for Carolina. Returning is Panzo as Jones goes off. He has 4 fouls too. Shot is there for Aninye, an 84% free throw shooter. Lead back to 4.
Plenty of time in this game for him.
Back to 2 possessions here. But a lot of time left in this ball game, and you've got a lot of players out there with so much time left that have 4 fouls in their pocket. Kusnard driving in, and that may be number 5 on number 15, Jawara. It is, he's gone. Second player to foul out here for the Hatters. So Kabimba and Jawara are both dismissed.
Jermaine Kusnard doing a great job of attacking the rim, drawing that foul.
So that brings Syriac Fukar back on. And definitely South Carolina with a size advantage now. Fukar 6'9". He is the tallest player left for Coach Dennis Jones or Donnie Jones. Ricky Greedy is at 6'10", but Greedy has seldomly been used this season. He's only played 6 minutes. Back to a 1-possession game. South Carolina needs a stop and a 3 to tie it. Shot clock at 8, wide open 3-point try. Rawley buries it. You can't leave Rawley, the shooter, that alone and give him that much space with the shot clock at 6 or 7. Trey Hannibal inside. Freak takes advantage of Fukar, but no, Fukar clapping his hands. Frink walked, he traveled.
Yeah, they called the travel on Frink. Great idea.
So TJ Moss will come on in place of Trey Hannibal. AJ Lawson still on the bench. He has not had one of his better days for sure. That's an understatement. He and Jair Bolden, two of the South Carolina's, well, they are South Carolina's top 2 scorers.
As well as Keyshawn Bryant.
Yeah, they have not performed today.
They did not perform as well.
Bryant with 4 points, Jair Bolden none, and TJ Moss with just 5, and he's committed 5 turnovers.
And Frank Martin doing what any good coach would do, going with the guys that are giving you something out on the floor.
Anaya to Moss. Gamecocks down by 2 possessions, 6-point Stetson lead, 3:18 to play. Gamecocks have not led in this ball game since early in the first half. Frink kicks it out. Moss wants a 3 right side. Going to be short. Flying in for the board is Manaya, taken away by Stetson and Aninye. 3 minutes to go now. 3 minutes, under 3 minutes to play. 6-point Stetson lead with the basketball. Aninye being guarded by Manaya. Timeout on the floor. taken by Stetson and Donnie Jones. 6-point lead. It's going to be a 30-second timeout here for Coach Jones, who is in his first season. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one with him. 56-50, Stetson leading. That is the last timeout called by Stetson, so they have used all of their stoppages with 2:51 remaining in this ball game, and Stetson leading 56-50. Stetson has two players that have fouled out. And let's take a look at the Hatters and a couple of big three-pointers in the second half, right when South Carolina had cut it to just a single possession lead. Rob Perry training the three-pointer there.
They had guys that felt comfortable on the outside, finding the open look from the three-point line.
And that was a big one by Rawley, too, as the shot clock was dwindling down under 5 seconds.
Yes.
So Stetson no longer with the ability to stop the clock with a 6-point lead here in just under 3 minutes to play. Also without Jawara. His 9 points and 5 rebounds on the bench. Mamadou Jawara, who has fouled out of this ball game. Also Joel Kabimba. He's gone. Wiza Panzo has 4 fouls, and Kenny Aninye has 3. South Carolina has some players in foul trouble as well. Alonzo Frink and Wayne Kusnard both on the floor with 4 fouls of their own. TJ Moss with 4 also. Kusnard gets that miss. Carolina with the basketball, down by 6, under 3 to go. Kusnard is fouled, count the basket.
Yes, great job, Kusnard, getting to the rim, getting down here to the basket.
He just threw that one up, not even looking, and it lands off the square, and that's a foul on Aninye, number 4 for Aninye.
And Jermaine Kusnard finding that rim.
There's a three-point play completed by TJ Moss. Keyshawn Bryant comes on. Carolina has this Stetson lead now back to just 1 possession. Carolina has not led in this ball game since the first half. That lead was only a 1-point lead. Full court press, Gamecocks.
And Frank Mike going with his athleticism.
Stetson gets it across the timeline. Shot clock.
Putting the pressure
19.
on him.
Shot clock under 10.
Now you're doing a great job coming over from the weak side to block that shot.
Moss, floater. Unable to get the tip in is Keyshawn Bryant. It falls into the hands of Rawley. 1:52 to play. Stetson leading by 3.
Gamecocks need another defensive stop like the last one.
trying to avoid the upset here in Columbia to close out this decade. A decade in which South Carolina saw their first and only trip to the Final Four under the direction of Frank Martin back in 2017. Aninye, left-handed scooper, is good as he is able to weave around Kotsar. Kotsar had to protect himself, who was in foul trouble. But this late in the ball game, I think if you're Mike Kotsar, you've got to commit. You can't let Aninye drive past you like that.
He does a good job realizing that he's got a big on him and he's a lot quicker.
Moss did not shovel over, and Aninye gets it to fall, and the lead now returns to double or to 2 possessions. South Carolina down by 5, 58-53. Stetson leading. South Carolina had a 1-point lead with 12:25 to play in the first half. That was the last time South Carolina led. Timeout in Columbia, 58-53, Stetson leading. Kotsar. That's going to be an offensive foul whistled on Mike Kotsar. The bucket was good. Kotsar thought he was going to be going to the line for a 3-point play, but the officials caught that elbow. Yep.
He throws that chicken wing out there.
Let's see if they'll count the basket. Kotsar on the bench. No basket. No basket. Frank Martin wants Kotsar back on. With 1:14 left, Kotsar goes to the scorer's table, checks himself back in. With 4 fouls, you've got to keep your senior on the floor. A 5-point Stetson lead, trying to erase a 4-game losing streak are the Hatters, trying to come into Columbia for what would be a signature win right now for Donnie Jones in his first year, leading the Hatters.
And you've got to give them credit. They came in here, they've run their game plan, they've befuddled the Gamecocks with their zone. Gamecocks could not make outside shots early. Turn the ball over.
South Carolina needs a stop with 1:12 to play. Keyshawn Bryant is going to be whistled for a foul over on the far boundary. Rawley actually has TJ Moss, and he has just fouled out. TJ Moss is fouled out of this ball game. TJ Moss is gone with 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. And Rawley is a very good. Rawley actually the guy you want to foul if you're Carolina. So the Gamecocks get a little lucky there because he's only an 18% free throw shooter on the year.
But of course he would make it.
Exactly.
Now.
5 of 7 here today is Rawley. So.
And Rawley's had a pretty good game. He was the X factor. He's
14 points
been
for
able
Rawley.
to make those threes, drive to the basket, control the offense for the Hatters.
7-point lead, 1 minute to play. Carolina needs a three-pointer or at least a quick penetration. Bryant for three. Not there. Out of bounds to the Gamecocks with 51 seconds to play. Shot clock showing 15. South Carolina's going to have to pull the trigger quickly. Try to set up a shooter on the outside for a quick shot and then get back on defense. Inbounds Kotsar Minaya with 48 seconds now. Hannibal back to Minaya. Minaya open for three. No. Rebound. Stetson. Pulled down there by Weza Panzo, and Stetson has a 7-point lead, and Panzo is fouled by Kushnard. Dwayne Kushnard will leave the game.
And this Stetson
disqualified with 5 fouls.
This Stetson team has only gotten better as they built this score.
This is not a performance Frank Martin wanted from his Gamecocks coming out of the break off of 2 big road wins, off of a month where you have won 3 big games on the road, UMass, Clemson, Virginia, and then heading into SEC play. Lawson, A.J. Lawson, and Jair Bolden virtually non-existent in this ballgame tonight. Non-existent indeed was Bolden. 0 points. A.J. Lawson committing 4 turnovers. Panzo misses the first. Let's see what will happen here at the second. Knocks it down, and Gamecock fans won't even get that chicken sandwich. 39 seconds left.
And they've got to get the shot up. They don't have time.
Good perimeter defense there by Rawley and Anenye. Lawson launches one right side, buries it. 29 seconds to go. Lead is 5. Carolina needs to foul quickly. Try to get Rawley, and Bryant does. Still time left for the Gamecocks, but South Carolina is going to have to cross their fingers and hope that Rawley returns to his form at the free throw line that he had before he arrived in Columbia. He was an 18% free throw shooter before this game here today. He is 6 of 8.
Well, I think the way he's played today, the way his team has played, has emboldened him to be better. And, he's played a pretty solid game for them. He's making his free throws. He ran the offense very well for them down the stretch.
This is that shot. Carolina needs a quick shot off. Hannibal, with 20 seconds, is going to launch a deep three. Bryant, Minaya, unable to get it to fall. And rebound, Rawley. The little fella amongst the big guys. Rawley, 6'4", but that's good size no matter who you are, but he was in there amongst Keyshawn Bryant at 6'11", or 6'5", and Mike Kotsar at 6'11".
And Rawley's had a solid game, like we said earlier. He's ran this offense. He's played well on defense. He's got 3 steals, 3 assists.
The senior coming off of a 14-point game, coming off the bench against FIU, coming off the bench here today on the road in Columbia. Senior from Durham. What a game, especially here in the second half. 16 points now, looking for number 17 and looking to give Donnie Jones his signature win that Stetson has been looking for. Their wins this season have come against Trinity Baptist, Western Illinois, Purdue Fort Wayne, Monmouth, Western Carolina, Bethune-Cookman, and now South Carolina on the road in Columbia. Certainly a signature win under the Donnie Jones era that has just gotten underway as they go to 6-9 on the year. Stetson drops South Carolina to 8-5. A shocker here in Columbia to close out this decade. For my broadcast partner, Alex English, for my wonderful crew here in Columbia, South Carolina, I am Birch Antley saying so long from the Colonial Life Arena. We will talk to you next time.